Hello students. So today we will start with the last part of the explanation of history chapter 1, that is what, where, how and when, from the NCERT book. So let us start with the explanation. This is Priyanka Sanyal from TIGPS Siliguri. Okay, the first topic is one, past or many. So people follow different practices and customs in different parts of the country. For example, today most people living in the Andaman Islands get their own food by fishing, hunting and collecting forest produce. But whereas the people living in the city, they get food supplies. The same thing happens during the older times also. The tribal people, they used to collect food from the nature, and they used to hunt food. But what about the people living in towns? They used to get food supplies or the or the produce which is done by the farmers. Now we know a great deal about kings and battles they have fought because they kept their records. So we know that the kings who fought battles, who was the king ruling, we know through different sources, as I have discussed earlier, that is from manuscripts or inscriptions. But what about the ordinary people? What about these tribal peoples or hunter gatherers or the fishing folk? They did not keep any records because it's natural. They were not at all they were not that much educated as the kings were, because during that time only the kings and the nobility and the higher ranks were only educated. So during that time ordinary people were not that much educated, so they were unable to keep records of themselves or written records that how they lived their own life. Now next we come for dates. So what generally does dates mean? Therefore dates are very important, as it tells about a particular event happened during that particular day. So for here it is said that BC stands for before Christ. You will sometimes find AD, which is means Anno Domini, and in the year that means in the year of Lord. Sometimes CE is also used instead of AD, and BCE is used instead of BC. So letter CE stands for common era, and BCE stands for before common era. Anno Domini means after when the Jesus Christ was born. After that year which is counted is known as AD, and BC means before the Jesus Christ was born. That day year dates are denoted as in the form of BC. Like we use this terms because the Christian era is now used in most countries of the world. So in India we began using this form of dating about 200 years ago. So BC and AD is used 200 years ago. At first BC and AD was not denoted. So at sometimes BP is also denoted, which is before present, which are used. Now before present in place of BC, also sometimes BP was used before, which is means before present. So this is how date was denoted. Now in the history books you can see that it is written BC AD. That means you have to assume that if it is denoted in the year BC, that means it's the birth of Jesus Christ. It is before the birth of Jesus Christ it is denoted. And now if you denote it, it is denoted as AD. That means it is after the birth of Jesus Christ it is denoted. So children, these are the two topics which I have discussed for the last part of the video. So hope you have liked the video, and thank you, and you have understood. I hope also you have understood the video. So thank you. We'll meet you in the next chapter.